right, here we go. Final Four videos. We both agree on two of the Final Four teams and then disagree on two of the others. So we're both about 50-50. We both have Iowa and Baylor in, but I have Texas and Oklahoma State. You have Michigan and Illinois. You have three of the one seeds. And the fourth one seed you have losing in the second round. But
yeah. Wow, I'm all over the place. Sorbensky has three Big 12 teams. I have three Big 10 teams.
yeah, and honestly, I could see it going either way as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could see Texas, Michigan going either way. I could see Oklahoma State, Illinois going either way, which would, in turn, I think Illinois would beat West Virginia as well. So honestly, we could end up here. The games that ended up to the Final Four, like the Elite Eight onwards, are just such toss-ups. There are going to be such great matchups. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We've already talked about all those. We're here to talk about the Final Four. So let's start with you, Mitch. You've got number 1 Michigan versus number 2 Iowa in your first game. Obviously, these two teams matched up early in the year. Late in the year, but they matched up earlier this year. And Michigan absolutely made Luka Garza look like a child and destroyed Iowa. But obviously, in your scenario, you're assuming Isaiah Livers is back, because if Isaiah Livers is back, you stated they won't make it past the Sweet 16. You're assuming Isaiah Livers is back. It's still a Michigan team that, I mean, has been looked good in the tournament, but before that had been slumping. What do you think happens here?
Well, they wouldn't have gotten to the Final Four if they were playing the way they were before, towards the end of the regular season, and even in the Big Ten tournament. So we're taking the assumption here that Michigan is giving big time effort and playing their best basketball, which I think they should.
They better.
So, huh?
I said they better. We need to get Livers a championship.
Yeah, so with Isaiah Livers healthy, Michigan versus Iowa, it won't be a 22-point blowout like it was in the regular season. This should be very close. I think Iowa will give Michigan everything that they can handle, but I think the Wolverines once again slip by in a close game. Michigan will just weaken the national championship game. It sounds like I'm being a homer, which, well, technically, I really kind of am. But
I mean, if Michigan was playing Iowa,
anyone can admit we're a different team.
I think if I had Michigan playing Iowa, I'd have them in the championship too. I just don't have Michigan beating Texas. I think Michigan against Texas is a much worse matchup than Michigan versus Iowa. I think if Michigan can sneak past Texas, I think they'll be in the championship. That's not to say anything on Iowa. Iowa's a great team, don't get me wrong. But Iowa-Texas is my Final Four, and I was just talking about how I think Iowa's a good team. I don't think they're better than Texas. I'm going to set up the battle of the Big 12 in the championship game. I'm going to have Texas slip by Iowa. They're just overall a better team. I think Iowa has a lot of great pieces, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Iowa is Luka Garza and everybody else. I mean, it is, but it's not like Luka Garza and a bunch of scrubs. It's Luka Garza and a bunch of good pieces. I just think Texas has overall better pieces. And I think as long as they can semi-slow down Garza, Texas will win this game. And now we move to the big matchup on your side, Baylor and Illinois. Battle of the one seeds.
The sad thing about that matchup is the winner will beat Michigan. So it will be the best game of the NCAA tournament, and there's no doubt in my mind that it'll be the best game of the NCAA tournament. Baylor, Illinois can go either way. I love Illinois to possibly win this game, but it's something about the Baylor Bears that I can just never get over. I like them to win the championship from the beginning of the year, and I still do. I'm going with Baylor to pull off a one-possession win over a rolling Illinois team. It should be a great game, but I think it'll be back and forth like throughout the entire game. But I think the Baylor Bears will just barely get to the championship.
Now I'm in an interesting position. I have Baylor against a team that has recently beaten them. But I think this is the Final Four. This is the national semifinal versus the Big 12 semifinal. I think Oklahoma State's a great team. I love Cade Cunningham. I love their team. But I think when the light shines its brightest, I think Baylor slips by Oklahoma State. I think it'll be an outstanding game. Baylor's transition defense is what's going to have to win this game because that's why they lost to Oklahoma State. Baylor's transition defense was a joke when they played them in the Big 12 tournament. But as long as their transition defense can hold up, Baylor squeaks by in a close one. And now you've got Baylor, Michigan, and I don't think you really need to elaborate. You've already kind of stated your major piece with this decision.
As sad as it is, I love the Wolverines. I cannot pick them to beat Baylor. I think the Bears will beat Michigan. Honestly, I don't like Michigan's chances of making it close either. I think Baylor will beat us pretty handily.
I mean, hey, at least we've been to 3 championships in the past 8 years.
Beat championships and lose them all.
2 of them, well, at least one of them.
In 2013, lose in 2018, and now lose in 2021.
I mean, at least we're making it though. At least we're proving that we're good. Not many teams can say they've been to that many championships.
And we have number 1 recruiting class, so
next year's going to be interesting. And for me, Baylor, Texas, I'm with you. I had Baylor as my champion going into this, and I'm going to keep them as my champion. I think Texas puts up a fight. Obviously, familiar game, familiar territory for both teams. Both teams have played each other. I believe Baylor won the matchups. Baylor won the matchups against Texas. I don't know if they played them once or twice, but
I think it was only once,
and Baylor would have beaten them.
Easy. So
I think Baylor does win this championship game, and we both have Baylor as our national champion. So thank you all so much for watching. Obviously, these are predictions. I'm talking like this is what's actually happening, but it's not. We still got 2 more days, but 2 more days of no basketball, and then the first 4, and then we start the NCAA tournament. So again, happy March to everyone. Good luck to all the Cinderellas, all the high seeds, all the low seeds. Good luck to everyone. Congrats to every fan base that made it, and have fun if you're in the NIT. I know how that is. But thank you all so much for watching. Good luck to everybody in this tournament. Good luck in your bracket challenges. I forgot to mention that in every one of our descriptions recently. I've been putting it. We have a bracket group on ESPN. So if you want to go ahead and just challenge us, go ahead and throw your brackets up in there and go ahead and face off against us in our group. It's free to join. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Good luck on everything, and hope you all have a great March. Peace.
See you.